again. I'm going to start off by saying the title of this video is not clickbait. I have such a headache. It came on like 5 minutes ago and I googled it, and it's a side effect of the procedure I had, and it comes up with questions on Google, doesn't it? And I stupidly clicked how long was the longest headache after a spinal tap, and it said 19 months. So if I've got this for 19 months, I'm going to end up putting a piece of fishing wire down my throat and out my arse and flossing myself. So I'm going to get ready because I've got a day of filming to do, and I thought I would sit down, tell you all everything that's happened in the last few days. I think I worried a few of you by putting on my Instagram like, I'm in hospital. Hospital is so boring. But I wrote notes. So I have a list on my phone of everything that happened during my hospital stay. From the second they said I wouldn't be going home, it was like, right, I'm making notes. I'm gonna let you know everything that happened. So all of this, everything in this video came from an eye test. I went to the opticians. It's funny because I was slagging off Specsavers in my what's in my bag video. And then I went to the opticians because I thought my prescription had changed. Because the last time, pretty much every time that my eyes go blurry, it's because my prescription's changed. So obviously that was the first thing I thought of. So this was a Monday. Ow. I'm gonna keep saying ow because every time I like tilt my head, this headache is insane. Like yeah, it's not nice. It's a different kind of headache. I've had migraines before. It's not like that. It's kind of like in the middle of my head. This was supposed to be Emotionless in White, Get Ready With Me, but instead here I am telling you about the last few days of my life spent in hospital. I still need to do a Get Ready With Me to like catch you up on all shiz I've been up to. So let me know if you actually want to see that, or if this, you know, puts you off like chatty videos for a while. So Wednesday I booked an online appointment with Specsavers, my opticians, and I made an appointment for very early Thursday morning, luckily. Thursday comes around and I have my optician's appointment at 9:30, no, at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock in the morning. No, it was 9:30, I don't know. Really early in the morning, because we went to the zoo and it was really cute. We went to Africa Alive. Because we had tickets from COVID that we didn't use, like literally 2 years ago, and we completely forgot and emailed them and said, look, I realised that the answer's probably no, but we had tickets from 2 years ago that we didn't use because of COVID. Any chance we could use them? And they said yes. So high freaking five, Africa Alive. So I went to the opticians Thursday morning. So I went to the opticians Thursday morning and had my eye test, was fully expecting them to just say, yeah, you need new glasses. The first bit of the... Sorry, my head is killing me. The first bit of the eye test, they asked me... so they do the first bit where, you know, you look at the hot air balloon. And then they said, do you want to pay £10 for an in-depth eye look? Now, usually I would go, nah. Oh, I might have to go get some paracetamol because this really hurts. Usually I would go, nah. No, thank you. But something in me was like, do it. And I said yes. I didn't have any money as well, so I went overdrawn paying for this eye test. But literally saying yes could have saved my life. So I had the second test, and it was a lot of like, you know, press this buzzer when you see the light flash up, and they did an in-depth look at my eyes, and they looked behind my eyes. I got called into the little office where they do the, which one's better, number one? Number two. Number one. Number two. Can I see number one again? Sure. Number one. And we did all that, and I think the guy's name was Vishal. High five, Vishal. I love you. And he told me that from the in-depth scan that I paid for, which if I didn't pay for, I wouldn't have found this out, the nerves behind my eyes were swollen. So my prescription hadn't actually changed. They were filled with a lot of fluid, and that is what was causing me to have headaches and blurred vision. And he didn't, you know, and he seemed quite worried. He was like, I'm gonna contact the hospital and they will call you today by 3 o'clock, 3:30. If they haven't called you by then, call us and I will chase them up. So I was worried, but I tried not to think about it. And then I went on my merry way to the zoo. And, you know, had fun seeing the llamas, the meerkats and the lemurs, and saw a turtle threesome. That was interesting. So 3 o'clock comes around, 3:30, whatever. The hospital didn't phone me, so I thought that was kind of like oh, it's not that important. But I did phone the opticians, and Vishal, my little superstar, told me that he'll chase him up and they will call me with an appointment. So that was Thursday. Friday at 12 o'clock, they phone me and they say I have been referred to the emergency eye department. So I start panicking now. I'm like, why is it an emergency? They phoned me at 12 and asked me to come in at 3. I couldn't do that because it was the school run, and I didn't realise how much of an emergency it was. So I said, I'm really sorry, I can't. I've got school runs. I can do tomorrow, Saturday. And they said, yeah, that's great. Come in, we need to see you as soon as. So I went in at 12:30, I think, Saturday. My lovely mother-in-law took me, and oh, she's like a lifesaver, because I can't do things like this on my own, and Ben had work, because we just thought it was another like follow-up eye exam. So Saturday 12:30, I get my eyes tested. I have my height measured, my weight measured, and it turns out that it's, do you know what, honestly, I'm not actually too sure. The doctor said it was a bit more serious, and long story short, I wouldn't be going home. So I went from the eye department straight to Brantham emergency ward. I am just going to have to go get some paracetamol because my eyes are killing me. I will be back. I can't explain this headache. Obviously, because I've never had this before, it's a totally different kind of headache. Back there. Back there, Superman. So, where was I? Was I at the emergency ward? I got to the hospital at 12:30 and I was taken to the eye department. I'm not sure what time. About 2-ish? Oh, no, actually, it must have been about 3-ish because Ben had come to the hospital at this point and he finished his work at 2:30. So about 3, I was taken to the emergency department, and I sat in that emergency department till like, I don't know what time, 8 o'clock, 3 till 8. Just sat in the emergency department. I had blood tests. I had so many questions. I had my blood pressure taken. I was weighed again. I just had loads and loads of tests done. I can't stand having my blood taken. And the doctors and nurses are always like, oh, well, you know, you've got tattoos, it's fine. But no, I did not like that. I just, something about having your blood taken, it's really bad. Oh my God, this is so intense. I might actually have to stop this video. So I had all my exams and everything done. And the doctor actually said to me, we were trying to think of causes. So like, can anything caused it? And the doctor that I was speaking to was so lovely. They were all, actually everybody was really lovely. All but one nurse was really lovely. I'll tell you about that nurse later. And sorry, my head is like literally pounding. Oh, I don't think I can finish this video. Okay, I'm really sorry. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna have to stop this video. But I'm gonna go and have a lay down and I will come back to you in a few hours. Fucking hell.
2 hours later.
Okay, I'm back. I had a lay down for about an hour, just laying flat, because see, now I'm sat up again, it's pounding. After you have it done, the procedure, you have to lay flat for an hour. And I did that and I was fine. And then yesterday my back was so sore, but I was fine. And then today I've just got this pounding headache. I've forgotten where I was at, but I'm gonna try my hardest to carry on, because that's the thing, when you're a self-employed YouTuber, when you don't upload videos, you don't get paid. So if I don't make videos, my bills don't get paid. So I need to. This hurts, but I need to carry on. So I can't remember where I was up to. The sooner I do this, the sooner I can go lay down again. So when I was in the emergency, it wasn't in A&E, when I was in the emergency department, the emergency ward. I had blood tests, I had so much work done, and because they didn't know what was going on. One doctor actually asked me if I had been scratched by a cat, and me and Ben looked at each other like, are you fucking kidding me? I don't have cats, but the doctor said there's something called cat strike or cat scratch or pussy fever, where when a cat bites you, you get an infection, or a cat scratches you, you get an infection, and it can do all these things, all these symptoms that I'm having. It can do that. If you're on my Patreon, you'll know. A couple of weeks ago, it was 11 days before I went to hospital, because I got the pictures up on my phone. I'm going to give you a blood warning. So it had the date, the timestamp on it, and I got bit by my ferret. He bit me really, really, really hard, and he did not let go, and he kept biting, and yeah, and it was so ferrets do not let go. I looked at Ben, I went, if this is all caused by that ferret, he's going back to the RSPCA. I didn't mean it, but I kind of did, but I wouldn't have done it. But oh my god, it wasn't that, but it was just the whole, if this is why I am here, he's going. While I was in the emergency department, after he checked my hand, I had a cannula put in my hand, and I knew I wasn't going home for a while. There's a ferret trying to get in, and it's a nice ferret as well, but I feel like I just cannot deal with you and this headache right now. So I had a cannula, I had more blood tests, I went for a CT scan. I've never had any kind of scans or anything. Well, I've had ultrasounds and that, but I've never had head scans or anything. So I had a CT scan, which was kind of exciting. I was worried because it was so on the spot. I gotta say, my eyes are still a bit blurry, so this makeup is probably not going to be good. But I went for CT scan. I didn't have to take my piercings out because it was a body scan, but only your head went into it, only the top half of my head, because they were only focused on my eyes, and I don't have any piercings there, so don't move your head, Emily. So that was alright. And then it got to like 8 o'clock-ish. Ben had been with me this whole time, and they came over and they went, Emily, we've got a bed for you. And I was like my heart sank. They had said earlier that I probably wasn't going home, but you have that hope of going home. And the next day, so the Sunday, this happened on Saturday, the Sunday, I was going to a concert, and it was Mother's Day, and I was supposed to be going to a Motionless in White concert, my favourite band. I waited 3 years for this damn gig, and it was me, Ben, and our friend Sean, and I was like voice noting Sean. I was like, I'm so sorry, I'm in the hospital, I'm trying my hardest to get out, we gotta go to this gig, you know, like, I can't miss this. So when they said I was staying, I was like, okay, right, well, if I get out in the morning, sorry, my whole body is just drained. I should not be doing this right now, but hey, self-employed. But I was voice noting Sean. I was like, I'm gonna try and get out in the morning, I'm gonna try my hardest, I cannot miss this gig. I was so hopeful. So my first night in the hospital, Ben went home to get my laptop and get me clothes and everything, get me some snacks. Thank God he got me snacks, because hospital food is disgusting. Me and my friends started playing Guess the Dessert. I'd send them a picture of a dessert and they had to guess what it was, and I'll show you, like, what is this? Have a guess in the comments, what is this? I'll tell you in a minute what it is, but guess what dessert that is. I am so appreciative of the NHS, and I was so taken care of. But I was just like, what is this? So my first night, I had my blood pressure taken every 4 hours. Sorry, I'm going to keep yawning because my body is just drained. My blood pressure was taken every 4 hours. Every 4 hours. I think, there might have been 5, but I think it was 4. I was trying to like capture it so I could time my bed time naps right after a few days. But that includes in the night, so they woke me up every 4 hours in the night to do my blood pressure, and that's not freaking nice. The dessert was cheesecake, by the way. It was vile. My eyebrows are awful, just please ignore that because I do not have the strength to carry on. So when I was on the ward, there was 5 beds, 2, 2 and 1. And opposite, I was the one. She was like, when they wheelchaired me in, they were like, where do you want to go? There's a bed here, there's a bed at the end. I was like, at the end. I don't want to be facing anybody, I want to be by myself. So I got to stay on the end, which was the best decision because I didn't want to. I had it when I had my daughter. My bed was opposite someone, and the nurses always open your curtains because they want you to interact. And it's like, I don't want to interact. I just want to pretend I am not here. Yeah, at night, people were snoring. There was one lady who was talking in her sleep. This ward I was on was women's ward, and then there was a reception nurse's station in the middle, and then the other end was the men's ward. And there was a man with dementia, a really old guy, who kept... So my bed was opposite the toilet, and he kept coming in and going to the toilet, and it was really sad because he didn't understand, and the nurse was going, come on love, your toilet's up this end, but he kept doing it throughout the night, and I was like, okay, I understand, but I need to sleep. And then you just drift off, and then the nurse would be like, Emily, blood pressure. I was like, I just want to sleep. So I literally, since I got home, I'm gonna yawn, I've been catching up on my sleep. I tried to nap during the days, but during the days everybody's awake and you just can't because it's so noisy. Sunday. So I wake up on Sunday, it's Mother's Day. I need to do this. I wake up Sunday and it's Mother's Day, and it's the day of the Motionless and White gig that I kept asking the nurses. I was like, am I going home today? Am I going home today? And they all said no. The results of my CT scan came back all right, so I had to wait for an MRI scan, which they do not do on the weekends, so they wouldn't let me go. And I was like, please let me go, and you know, I'll come back tomorrow, I promise I won't run away, I will come back! Just let me see Chris Maximus! Oh, don't shout, Emily. Sensitivity. But no, I couldn't go. But my partner and my daughter came up to see me. The visiting times are pretty good. They were 10 AM to 7 PM. So they could stay with me all day, which I really, really appreciated. But when Violet, my daughter, came up, the nurse was like, I'm really sorry, but kids aren't allowed on the ward. I thought we were gonna just like chill and sit in bed all day and, you know, eat snacks and everything. But no, the nurse said that kids aren't allowed in the ward. So we had to sit in a visitor's room. And my daughter got really bored because there was nothing to do. There was nothing to do. It was like a little room. So she stayed with me for about an hour, and then Ben, my partner, took her home, took her to her granny's, and then he came back and spent the rest of the day with me. He was like, I'm so sorry you're not at your gig. I'm like, I'm freaking sorry I'm not at my gig. If I had just gone to the opticians a few days later, I would have been able to go. To be fair, most of all, I felt sorry for my friend because this was his birthday present from like 3 years ago, because we waited. This gig was pre-COVID. So I felt so bad for him to let him know the day before we were supposed to be going, hey, my eyes are pissing me about, I can't go. And he couldn't get there without us, so he didn't end up going, and that's what I felt most bad for, to be honest. So I'm sorry, Sean. I'm sorry. God, my head is f***ing pounding. But this is what I do. I'm a trooper. If you've ever seen me get pierced, like if I sit up and get pierced, I sit so still. Like it hurts, but I don't move. I can sit still through pain and I can carry on, but I moan about it. So I wake up Mother's Day, Ben and Violet came to see me at 10 AM. After Violet left about 11, Ben left to take Violet home, and then I went back to sit in my little bed, my little cave, and then a nurse came in to take my blood. And the blood was taken from this hand. It's bruised now because my cannula was in this hand. And I can't stand having my blood taken. I was just panicking because I was like, I'm by myself, I need someone to hold my hand. But the nurse was so lovely because I can't have blood taken from my elbow because my veins are too deep, so that it just doesn't work. So they take it from my hand, so it's just so much easier. But the nurse was so lovely. She didn't put the needle in very deep, and it wasn't too bad, because they always say sharp scratch, but she was very gentle. I'm so appreciative of her. I didn't catch her name, but I love you. But I tell you what, those nurses, they keep opening your freaking cut. Every time Ben came or went from my little cubby hole, I was like, shut the curtain, And he would always shut the curtain because I just want to be left alone. I want to watch my telly in privacy. But the nurses, every time they come around to do your blood pressure, they come and check you're alright, they open your curtains. I'm like, stop! Other than that, nothing really happened Sunday. I watched a lot of Simpsons. I spoke to the consultant, and again I was like, am I going home today? And she was like, no, I'm really sorry. Maybe tomorrow. If we get your MRI done. So I was like, okay, great. Because I'd been told, like, they don't do MRIs on the weekend. So in my head, I was like, right, Monday's going to come around. I'm going to get the tests. I'm going to get the scan done. And then I can go home. So I will miss the gig, but at least I'll be at home. Ah, damn, my head is... I might have to take another break. This is insane. I can't begin to tell you what this feels like. Give me a second. Okay, I think I'm alright. I'm trying to get this done, so then at least this is done. I can, I've got something to upload next week. Come on, Emily, you can do this. Come on! Oh, something good did happen Sunday. So I was messaging my friends throughout all of this, and they were keeping me occupied and keeping me sane. My friend loves Jedward, and she kind of, remember Jedward, John and Edward? I think they were on X Factor. I remember them from Big Brother, but my friend kind of forgot about them, and then she randomly remembered them, and she followed them on Instagram, and they sent her a little message. They sent her a little, like, thank you message. And I was like, oh my god, because I get really weirdly excited about celebrity stuff. Even if the celebrity's like, sorry Jedward, even if they're like not really relevant, or I just get really weirdly excited. I mean, imagine the excitement every time I look in the mirror. It's like, oh my god, I am somebody. That's a joke. I can't even laugh at my own jokes because my head hurts too much. So I was sat in my hospital bed, F all to do, and I was like, right, I want one. I'm gonna follow Jedward. And Ben did the same. Ben didn't get a message, and he was like, I didn't get a message, but I did. Let me tell you guys, because this is so random. So Jedward sent me, official Jedward, they sent me a voice note with a gif of them dancing, and some St. Patrick's Day emojis. So this is what Jedward sent me.
Hi, Jepic Monster. Hi, doll. Loving your vibes, Emily Boo. Boo Boo. Hey, Boo Boo. Anyway, thanks for finding us. You're such a presence, such an energy, such an experience. And we're honoured that you found us. Emily, word for life. Loads of love from Jedward. Mwah.
And they followed me. So it was the end of Mother's Day. I hadn't, you know, Ben had gone. I was missing my favourite band's gig. I should have been in London. I should have been seeing you guys. But I got a voice note from Jedward, and do you know what? It did cheer me up so much. I was like, oh my god, it's something. So that, I don't know, I just thought that was really cute, and I like Jedward a little bit for that now. So that takes us to Monday, the day I think I'm going home. So Monday comes around, I'm woken up to more blood tests out my hand, and they can't take it from a cannula. I thought the point of a cannula was that you could take blood from it, but no, it's not. So I had more blood tests, so I've got more little holes in my hand. And I asked the nurse, like, am I going to get my MRI today? And she said, yeah, hopefully today, and then hopefully that's it. Hopefully you can go home. Depending on the results. Consultant came round and I asked them the same thing. They kind of filled me in what was happening, and that's when they first mentioned something called a lumbar punch. And they said, we'll do your MRI, and if that comes back all right, because that will scan my whole body. That scans your whole body, doesn't it? But it scans your whole head, because you go into like this tube. It's really claustrophobic. That I had to take my piercings out for that as well. So, sorry, my head is pounding. I'm losing where I'm at. After I spoke to the consultant, it was about 10 AM and Ben had got to the hospital. So I changed all my piercing jewellery to acrylic. I had Amazoned some acrylic jewellery the night before, and I had to wait for Ben to come to the hospital. I was like, please don't do my scan before I have my jewellery in, because I do not want to lose my piercings. I've only had this one a short while. I do not want to lose it. Because MRIs take about half an hour, so if I had taken them out for, especially that one because it's so new, it would have closed up. But Ben got to the hospital and I changed all my jewellery to acrylic, but I can't put my nose has librets in and I just cannot put them up that way. I just can't do it. So I had to put them in backwards and then I put tape over them, which was a terrible idea because the residue just stuck to my nose and it was awful, so hard to get off. But if it meant I got to keep my piercings, it was worth it. So there's me, Monday, patiently waiting for my MRI, Googling lumbar puncture. Do not do that. Nothing happens. I have my blood pressure taken every 4 hours, I have lunch, Ben bought me Easter eggs, but nothing happened. I didn't get any scans, I didn't get any... The consultant came around again at like 5 o'clock and was like, yeah, sorry, we couldn't do it today, we're hopefully going to do it tomorrow. And I was just emotionally drained. It doesn't sound like much because it's like, oh, well, you're in hospital for... Well, that's the 3rd day. And I was just like, I just want to go home. I've missed Mother's Day, I miss my daughter because she can't come up to the hospital unless we sit in a little room, and she just got bored, and then I felt like I was wasting her life. I just felt like I was in the way because Ben took days off work to come and sit with me. Ben's mum had to help out with Violet and do school runs and all that, and I just felt like this was all my fault. Everybody's life was on hold. Ben was losing money from not being at work because he wanted to be with me. Ben's mum was, you know, she's got things to do, but she had to then do the school run and look after Violet because Ben stayed with me till 7 p.m. and it was a whole thing, and I just felt really, really bad for everybody. My piercings got really irritated as well, so my face was then sore from the acrylic because it was cheap, nasty acrylic. Yeah, and I was just feeling so down and so rubbish, and it wasn't nice. So Monday, it gets to 6 p.m. I've had nothing that I needed done. I've played Sonic 1 and 2, completed them, I've been chatting to Ben, and I'm just majorly fed up, and I just want to... The thing that annoyed me the most, again, I'm not a professional, so from my point of view, from their point of view, they were like, they need to monitor me, but from my point of view, it's like, I'm just sat in a bed, I'm wasting an emergency bed. I could be at home doing this and I could come in as an outpatient. I get it, they wanted to monitor me because it was my brain, it was my eyes, you know, I get it, and I'm so thankful. I just wanted to go home. So, Ben leaves at 7 and I resume watching Bad Girls. I'd like just binge watch Bad Girls. It's on ITVX for free, and I've just been binge watching that. Please just stop. Please just let me finish this video. I've never had a headache like this. I hope I never have one like this again. I just need to lay down. I need the lights off and I need to lay down. I'm gonna try and finish this. I feel really sick. Come on, we can do this. I'm gonna try and hurry up because I really, really need to go lay down. So Tuesday, I wake up nice and early because people are snoring, and they woke me up Tuesday at like 6 a.m. for my blood pressure. They woke me up through the night, but it was like 6 a.m. and I struggled to go back to sleep. And then I think I did go back to sleep at like 7, half 7. And then they came round with the breakfast trolley, and then that woke me up, and then I just stayed awake. So I didn't get much sleep Monday night. When I was awake with the breakfast trolley, the lady, a nurse came over and gave me compression socks. She measured my ankles. I have medium-sized ankles. I haven't shaved my legs in months. And I just like rolled my jogging bottom trouser leg up, and I was like, horse, like a jungle there. And she measured my ankle. I thought she was going to measure my whole leg, but it's just my ankle. And I'm a medium compression sock. So I've got my fancy socks on and I go lay down in bed. It was too early for Ben to be there, so it was just chilling, you know, eating Easter eggs. Oh my god, and then I accidentally called the nurse. I found the little box thing, and I thought it was to make your bed go up and down, because I knew your bed can go up and down, but I hadn't found the buttons to help to do that. So I found the box and it had buttons on it, and I pressed them because I thought it was going to be like Simpsons.
Bed goes up, bed goes down, bed goes up, bed goes down, bed goes up, bed goes down, bed goes up, bed goes down. And
then a nurse comes running over and she's like, "You're right, you're right." Yeah, I'm fine. I pressed the emergency button instead of the bed goes up, bed goes down button. And I was like, I'm so sorry. Do you know what? Honestly, I think this is the hardest video I've ever had to make. Like, this is physically so hard. I'm a soldier. Like, I will soldier on through this. because it's what I do. But my God, this is horrible. I'm sure it's not pleasant for you either, looking at my face. So I have my compression socks, nurse told me off. Where am I at? I might have to go take another lay down. Yeah, I'm sorry guys, I'm gonna have another lay down. I'll be back. I will be back. I'll be back in another hour.
Several long days later.
So, oh my God. My head is still pounding. So it's been 4 days. I very, very much underestimated how much taking spinal fluid from my back would up my life. I honestly thought, because I was told after you get it done, like the doctors even told me after you get it done, just lay down, let the fluids all balance out and you'll be fine, you'll be fine, you'll be fine. But you're a liar. You lie. So it's almost been a week. My ferrets are making noise, I'm sorry. It's almost been a week. And today is the first day that I can actually sit up without having an unbearable headache. Like, it's really hurting now, but is it bearable? I might have to stop. Honestly guys, I cannot explain this. Basically, as soon as I'm laying flat, the fluids can just like settle properly and it's okay. But the second I sit up, I don't know, like the pressure in my head just goes full hot air balloon and it hurts. It's literally taking everything out of me. I'm constantly tired. I've basically been laying down for 4 days. I haven't been able to get up. Every time I get up to even go for a wee, I asked Ben to put a saucepan under me on the sofa so I could just pee in the saucepan so I don't have to get up. He didn't do it, by the way. He was like, nah, that's gross. Yeah, this has been really tough. So if you ever have a lumbar puncture, take a week off work. Take a week off work. I'm self-employed, so if I don't work, I don't get paid. So here I am. Don't shake your hand. I don't know if I can do this. I honestly thought I would be alright because I stayed laying down. I laid down for the half an hour that they told me. I actually laid down for an hour. I thought I was being a goody two-shoes. And yeah, and I feel absolutely shit now. So shit actually that I'm not going to do my makeup. I was going to do my makeup, like start again and do my makeup and then film a different video after this, but I don't think I can. So I'm going to just, I'm going to carry on where, I can't remember where I was at, but I'm going to carry on where I was at and just finish my story. But I think I was up to Tuesday. Just know that fuck all happened Monday, except the mean nurse. I have to tell you about this because I did get the nurse's name and this may be like the first thing in my life that I ever complained to a company about because I never complain. Luckily, I'm so lucky that Ben was there, so he saw it too. On the Monday, they were taking my blood, my pressure, not my blood, every 4 hours. And one nurse took my pressure just before Ben left. Now Ben had to leave by 7. 7 was the cut-off time. And this new nurse came around, I hadn't seen her before. So she came in, 7 o'clock, hi, I'm blah blah blah. And she took my blood pressure. So blood pressure is that thing that gets wrapped around your arm and then a machine makes it expand, and I just think it measures how much blood is getting pumped through, even though it's so out of all the blood pressure machines, I saw 3 because they had to keep being charged and they were plugged in kind of opposite where my bed was because there was only a chair there. I'm pretty sure one of them didn't work and it was this machine. I've become an expert in blood pressure now. It got to a certain point and it wouldn't deflate and I'd go, no, I don't think this one works. So basically she used this defunct machine that I don't think she'd have known it was defunct. Slow down, slow down. She put it on my arm, this arm. I always had it on this arm because when it was on this arm, it made my thing throb. So I always had it on this arm. Sorry, I'm trying so hard. I'm gonna go and lay down after this. Yeah, she put the thing around my arm and I'm so glad Ben saw this because I almost wouldn't have believed it. I know every high school bitch that grows up to be a nurse, but I know you almost expect nurses to be like holier than thou and good and enjoy that job. And anyway, she put the thing on my arm, and my arm literally expanded, and my arm literally went purple. I'm not joking. If I could not move my arm, it was dead. And Ben was like, fucking hell. And I said, I can't, you need to take that off you. I can't, like it hurts. And she went, oh, okay. And she undid it. The blood came back on my arm really quickly. And then she put it on again. Slow down. So she put it on again, and then it did the same thing again. And this time it was sorer because it had just done it to my arm. So my arm was like throbbing and it really hurt. If you've seen any of my piercing videos, I sit and I just take it and then I'll complain about it afterwards. And that's basically what happened. So my arm went more purple because I guess there wasn't enough blood in there, and I went, no, I'm sorry, can I have 5 minutes, can I just like try to move my arm around? And she went, has your blood pressure been normal? And I went, yeah, it's been normal, high in the evenings. And she went, that's fine, I just cannot be doing with this today. I'll just guess. Now, I don't know if this is a thing that nurses are allowed to do. I'm still alive, luckily. Maybe this is your fault. But she guessed my blood pressure. And she wrote it, I watched her write it down on the little phone tablet-y thing. And me and Ben just looked at each other like, what? If she did that to me, did she do that to like little old ladies that then died because their blood pressure was too high? I don't know. I mean, obviously everybody's allowed an off day. But when you're working in an emergency ward to save people's lives, you know, maybe don't have an off day. Oh my god. Okay, I need to skim through this. But yeah, that's my story about the horrible nurse. Okay, we're getting to the end now. So Tuesday, going down my notes, 8 AM, they took my blood again. I've got a nice little, you probably won't be able to see because it's under my tattoo, but I got a nice little bruise where my blood was taken because I get it from my hand. And I was given really sexy compression socks. I've never had compression socks before. I forgot to buy them before we went on an aeroplane. So yeah, I never had them before, and they were quite comfy. I had a bed change. They asked me if I wanted my bed changed, my bedding, every day, but I don't know, I'm just comfortable in my own filth. So this was day 3, 4, day 4 and the third night. And I just finally was like, yeah, okay, go on. Change my bed. Let's live that life of luxury. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm trying so hard to get through this. Literally, as soon as this is done, I'm gonna go crash out downstairs. My alarm went off. I forgot that. Before my blood test at 8, my alarm went off at 7:25. My school alarm, going to the school run. I turned it off on Monday, and then I was so sure I was going home Monday, I forgot to turn it off for Tuesday. Ah! There's me saying like my headaches got better each day, but it's starting to get worse again. So I think Ben got to the hospital about 10 because he was there pretty much every day from 10 till 7. And my mother-in-law did the school run and she helped out so much. Honestly, without her, I don't know how we would have got through this. I would have been more alone in the hospital and it would have driven me insane in a membrane. And I nearly cried as this man walked over to my bed with a wheelchair, and I knew that's a good sign. That means you're going somewhere. And he took me for my MRI, and Ben had to wait in the waiting room, so I went through by myself. And I've never had an MRI before, but you're basically in this really claustrophobic tube. It made the worst noises ever, but you have this like cage thing on your head, like 13 Ghosts, so you literally cannot move your head. But it was really comfortable. The noise was so freaking loud, and I was so tired that I did almost fall asleep. The only thing that stopped me falling asleep was every like couple of minutes the conveyor belt you were on just like jolted you a little bit, I think to maybe move you up or down to scan different parts of your head. If it didn't do that, I would have fallen asleep. I came out and the lady was like, oh, you look like you were really enjoying that. And I said, it's just like sleeping at a festival, you know, there's so much noise, but you're so tired, you just conk straight out. But yeah, if you're claustrophobic, I don't want to say don't have one because it could save your freaking life, but just be prepared. Because I've seen pictures of them online, but I didn't realise like just how tubey it was. After that, we went to Costa. There was like 3 Costas in the hospital, like literally just on this one wing that I was on, and had another hot chocolate and this little like Bakewell slice thing, little almond slice. Oh, so freaking good. But it was £3 and it was like literally this big. When I saw it in the window display, there was 2 stuck together, so it looked bigger. But no, but it was just one. Oh, please hurry up, Emily. And then okay, we're getting there. And then at 4:30, so Tuesday was the day. Tuesday I had my MRI and then I had my lumbar puncture. At 4:30, a consultant came around and she went, "It is time." And all that was going through my head was Rafiki from Lion King going, "Ha ha, it is time." And I was just like, oh my god, it's time. And I was so happy. That didn't last long. So she gave me a leaflet about what was going to happen to me. She ran through it, but it was all medical speak, so I didn't really understand. But I had googled it, don't ever do that. So I had a rough idea of what to expect. I'm so close to finishing, but my head is pounding. I'm like, shall I just finish? But if I finish, I know it'll be like another 4 days before I finish the end. I'm really sweaty and like my body temperature just can't regulate right now. So it was literally 10 minutes after when she told me that I would be having the procedure that I had the procedure, and Ben had gone home at this point. I think he had to do the school run Tuesday because his mum couldn't, so he had gone to do the school run and take Violet to his mum's house. What was that? And then he came back. But it was like in that hour that he was gone that it happened. So I got wheeled out on my whole bed, and it was like an adventure. Like I was like a baby again. I was on the bed. Like I sat up. I was like, ooh, I'm driving. And they didn't take me very far, and they took me into this really like empty room. I got some pictures of all this stuff, and okay, I gotta take a break. I feel like I'm gonna be sick. So laying down is literally the only... I feel a little bit sick, but I don't have a headache. It's literally the only way I can get through this video. I've gone all blotchy. Stress, boys, stress. I'm not a good angle lying down, that's why I'm always on top. At least then he can see how many chins I got. I feel so much better, literally so much. I don't look so much better, but I feel so much better, kind of. My head's still hurting, but it's like a normal headache rather than a headache. So were we at the lumbar punch? I think so. So I got wheeled off into this little room, and I had to sit on my side in the fetal position, and I had to keep my shoulders in line with each other. So I cannot go on my side. So I was on my side, and I had to keep my shoulders in line and my hips in line, and then they were doing all their stuff back there. I don't know what they were doing, like spraying me, put a little sheet over me, probably shaving my back. I was in there for about just over half an hour, I think, and that was pretty much all spent stabbing my back, doing stuff to my back. I don't have the bottom of my back tattooed. I've only got the top done. So I didn't know what it felt like, and I never had an epidural, so I don't know what that felt like. Well, I've got an idea now. And basically, from what I gather, because I couldn't see anything, they felt the crevices of my spine, and then they found the gap between 2 of the balls, and they pushed the needle through 2 of the balls, and I felt that. And do you know what? It was really weird, because I could feel it in the inside of my... Like, the needle was probably about that big. It wasn't that big, but it felt that big. I could feel it on the inside of my belly, as if it were that big. It was so weird. From what I gather, they put the needle through, and it had a cannula in it. So then they take the needle out, and then they put another needle in, and then they suck out the fluid. And they did this 4 times. I don't know if they did it. I felt it 4 times, but I don't know if they did it more because I was numbed. So after I was numbed, it didn't hurt. It was just pressure. It was just like I could feel tugging and that. But that needle hurt. But they took out... I don't know the measurements for spinal fluid. I don't know if it's in centimeters or millimeters or what. So they said the average person has 15 something, and mine was 40. And that's why they think I was having so much pressure in my head, because that's over double the amount of whatever measure of spinal fluid I was supposed to have. They took out 4 little pots of the fluid. I did take a picture, but I was on my side, and keep your head straight. I was at my side, and it was like if you watch the Jeffrey Dahmer series, it was like, relax, I'm just gonna take a picture. The doctor held it up for me, and I was so surprised that it's clear. I really thought that my spinal fluid was gonna be like radioactive yellow or red or something, but no, it's clear. So that's a fun fact for you. I'm getting really cold now. But after that, I was wheeled back and told to lay flat for half an hour. And flat, you can't have any pillows. So kind of like what I'm doing now. And oh my god, it helps. Yeah, and I stayed laying down for an hour, and Ben was there, and I just watched Simpsons. And this was about, I do have the time, because I was sending everybody pictures like, I'm about to go in. 6 minutes past 6, I was watching Simpsons. And then, oh look, here's a picture of my back after the procedure. And here's a picture of I need to speak to the manager that made me laugh. Then I was pretty much just laying down. I lifted my bed up a little bit. Bed goes up, bed goes down. After the hour, and then a nurse came around probably about 8 o'clock, and they were like, how you feeling? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Because I was fine. I was like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he said, I hear you're really eager to go home. And I wanted to get really sassy and be like, I was really eager to go home on Sunday so I could see most of the what. But I just said, yeah, I'm ready to go home. So they said, we just have to wait for the tests. I think my MRI had come back all right at this point, but we just had to wait for the results of the spinal thing to come back okay, and then I can go. And then about 9:30, they came in and they went, get your shit, you're going home. No, they went, we have your discharge papers, you are free to go. And I was almost crying. I was like, Ben had gone at this point because he had to go at 7. So I phoned Ben. I was like, come and get me. Come and take me home. I am so cold. And then that's pretty much it. And then I slept like a baby Tuesday night, like in my own bed. I slept so good. Wednesday, I woke up and my back was in so much pain. I couldn't bend my back in any way, shape or form. So if I sat down on the sofa, like you bend your back, don't you, to sit down and stand up to just kind of move with what your posture's doing. I couldn't do that. Once I was up, I was fine, or once I was down, I was down. And when they were only halfway up, they were neither up or down. But it was literally just any time my spine bent. So that was Wednesday. And then Thursday is when I filmed the first part of this. Thursday, my back had stopped hurting, and I was like, oh my god, this is it. I'm free. I'm free. And then I've pretty much had a headache since Thursday, like every day. And it's so bad. Thursday was definitely the worst, and Friday was the worst. It got better in the evening, so probably about from like 4 o'clock onwards it was bearable. And then the same Saturday and the same Sunday, literally until that point I've had to stay laying down, and Ben has had to go to work because we've got to pay our bills. So it's just been me. I haven't been able to do the school run. I have to do the school run tomorrow because there's no one else to do it. And I'm dreading it. Because first thing in the morning is like, it's the worst. I mean, it's like lunchtime now. And I've been spending every day horizontal, and not for a good reason. It definitely helps, but I can't do the school run horizontal. I think that's it. I'm so sorry for like the randomness of this video. It's taken me 2 days to film, but with a massive gap in between. I've ended up laying down. If you ever have to have this procedure, it's not as bad as I've made it sound, but honestly the after effect, this headache It's the worst I've ever experienced. And I know I'm like smiling and laughing through it. I'll literally have a breakdown after this because it honestly, it hurts so much. So long story short, go and get your eyes tested, because this literally all came from an eye test. I was slagging off Specsavers in my What's in My Bag video, but Vishelle, you could have saved my eyesight. Thanks, Vishelle. Here, babe. I have a huge shout out to do to Sky. Is that a thumbs up? Because I'm laying down, so that's a thumbs up, but that looks like a... Thank you so much, Sky, for supporting my channel, especially right now. I have to, like, thank you. I really, really appreciate it. Because the thing is, I know I've been rambling on, but when you're self-employed, you literally cannot take days off. And having over a week off has cut my life into pieces. I cannot move my head. Can't even think about the rest of those lyrics. So thank you so much, Sky. It means so freaking much, especially now. You're amazing, and I love you. Should we do the millennium moment? The Gen Z way, is it that? Because that's so uncomfortable, and it looks like a bread roll. It doesn't look like a heart. That's a heart. That's a bread roll. It's like crab legs. But also huge thank you to all my patrons, because you guys have literally kept me going. I was talking to so many of you, I was reading all your comments, and all your words of encouragement, literally what kept me going. Oh, I know, it's not nice being in hospital. It's very lonely. Even when Ben was there, you can't really talk about stuff because I was on a ward, and then the nosy bitch next to me was listening. So we just sat and watched films, which was lovely. But talking to you guys made me feel so, like, it just made a big difference. I hope you know how much I appreciate that. Before I go, if you can, check out my Ko-Fi link in the description below. The link is a little bit weird. It takes you to, like, it doesn't take you to my profile anymore. It takes you to the main page. So if you just click in the search box, Emily Boo, it should come up with me. My profile picture is like a little cartoon that Violet did on an app with the green and black hair. Sign up to my Ko-Fi for a one-off tip of a hot chocolate. I bought so many hot chocolates when I was in hospital. But if you want to support me monthly, you can do that on my Patreon for just £1 a month. And you get all the exclusive updates, you get exclusive giveaways. And then we have a lot of fun on Patreon. There's a lot of good shiz on there. And there's some wonderful people too. Right, I am really gonna have to go. I had no idea this video was gonna end up like this. I can feel the tears coming, so I'm gonna go. I feel so sick. I'm supposed to go back to the doctors in a couple of days, and I'm like, how can I go if I can't even sit up? Anyway, thank you guys, honestly, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for every single thing, every kind word, every Patreon join, every Ko-Fi donation, every comment, all my messages. Thank you for everything. You guys literally kept me going, and I know I'm being really dramatic, but the shit hurts. So I'm gonna go. I love you guys so much, and I will be forever grateful for this. I gotta go. I love you guys, and hopefully I will see you very soon, because I can't sit up to edit. I cannot sit up to edit. This is my thing. I've got videos that need to be edited, and I cannot sit up to edit. And I try to edit like this, and I just can't. My laptop hit me in the face. So hopefully the headache will fuck off soon, so I can get back to what I love. I might have to get Ben to edit this. I don't know how I'm gonna get this video up. But that's it. I love you guys. I'm going. Whenever I do that, I have the urge to go, howdy how. Hi guys. Very unexpected update. So I'm here today in my SpongeBob top, just chilling. I don't know if this is going to go how you think it's going to go, because after I filmed the bit you just watched, my life took a massive U-turn. Kind of for the best, but not for the best. But I did have an old lady insult my ears and put her finger through them, so yeah. And people say we're the rude ones. It's literally the older generations. That rude bitch. And I bought a McDonald's. So after I had filmed the bit you just watched, I went for a lay down downstairs, laid on the sofa, watched some telly, and I started to feel better. So I sat up, and I was sat up for about an hour. So I thought, progress, I'm feeling better. This was at 5:30 on the Sunday, so a few hours after the bit I just filmed. I was sick. I got up to go for a wee, and I puked up everywhere in my bathroom. And even then, I was like, I don't want to go to hospital. I don't want to be a burden. I just, I'll just carry on living this headache life. This is my life now. I live that flat life. At least I won't get vertigo. I'm such a twat. I just didn't want to bother anyone. But I phoned 111, and I so much didn't want to bother anyone that I phoned 111, and it was a 5-minute wait. And the automatic man on the phone was like, "You're in a queue. The current wait time is 5 minutes." And I said to Ben, "I'm just taking it. I'll just hang up." Beep. And he's like, "No, you hang up!" But it did get really bad. My headache got so bad, and I was sick again. And I finally gave in, and I was like, okay. I'm gonna call them back. And the ironic thing is when I called them back, when I was ready to accept help, it was a 20-minute wait. I should have just stayed at 5 minutes. So yeah, the lady on the phone for 111 was wonderful. She was wonderful, and she told me to go to A&E. She actually booked me in at A&E. I didn't realise this was a thing. Like, they booked me in. So I phoned about 6:30, and she booked me in for 7:30 at A&E. Granny came to the hospital to grab Violet. So I had to go back to hospital a few hours after the bit you just saw, where I was like, hopefully this is the end of it. I had to go back to hospital and spend the night there. So we got to the hospital at 7:30 Sunday night. 7:30. 19:30 o'clock. I had blood pressure taken pretty quickly after I got in. But after that, it got to about 11:30, and it was busy. It was really, really busy. So busy that Ben went and got McDonald's. And I think I just said he got McDonald's for me and this little old lady that I was talking to. Because she was just waiting for results and they wouldn't let her go. And she was like, I just want to go. But we were hungry. So Ben went and got us McDonald's, and he got her a burger. And she was really nice. And then while he was gone, I must have put my hair behind my ear, and she saw I had my plug in, and saw my hole, and she literally just put her finger through my hole and went, "Oh, my nephew used to have horrible things like that in his ears, and then we told him we hated him, and he took them out, and I guess he finally grew up." And I messaged Ben. I was like, "Don't bring this bitch her burger." So they're sold out of bitch burgers. She was so nice until she saw my plug, because I had a mask on, so you couldn't see my piercing. But she fucked off after that. She got her results and she went home. But at 11:30, a nurse actually came out to everybody in A&E. Like, not came out. He came to speak to everyone in A&E and said, "It is so busy. I think there are still doctor strikes on, and nurses strikes, that there is a 7-hour wait. Approximately 7-hour wait from the time you got to hospital to the time you get seen." If I had known it was a 7-hour wait when I got there, I would have done the whole, "Look, Ben, we're wasting time. Let's just go home. Let's go home." Yes, 7 hours. And we waited longer than that. It was so horrible. But well done, NHS. You do an amazing job. And Ben and I just kept saying to each other, like, if we were in America, imagine how much this whole week, 2 weeks would have cost us. It would have cost us hundreds of thousands of pounds, and the only thing I've paid for so far is a million Costa hot chocolates while I've been here, and this bitch's burger. So that was at 11:30 the nurse came out. At 1 o'clock, Ben and I were so tired, we went to the desk and said, "You've got my phone number, can we just go and sleep in the car? Hello, what do you want?" This is the ferret. This is the ferret that bit me at the beginning of my story, where I said a ferret bit me really, really badly. This is him. Do not be fooled by that face, because he's a vicious prick. Like, I've still got, I've healed quite well. I don't know if you can see. You can kind of see, like, the faint markings of where his teeth went in. Yeah. Get ferrets, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Oh my god, I'm getting so distracted. It's because this is the first day where I feel a bit like me, so I'm just like, energy! Yeah, so at 1 a.m, because the A&E chairs are really uncomfortable, so at 1 a.m, Ben and I went and slept in his car. And we slept in the car for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. But Ben is like the sweetest guy in the whole world. He's honestly, he's like freaking amazing. He was like, you go to sleep, I'm gonna stay awake, I'm gonna make sure that you're safe and that you're comfortable. And he gave me his hoodie and it was so cold. But I was really shivery. I kind of was in the clip you saw as well. My body just couldn't keep temperature in. So he gave me his hoodie and I had my coat and he was just like playing Sonic on his Switch, just going... It's like, oh, he's honestly the sweetest ever. So I got a phone call about 3 a.m. They phoned me to come back into A&E because it was my turn to see the doctor. And I had a quick chat with a doctor who, she was so wonderful, and I feel, it sounds really stupid, I feel like she believed me, because I told the little lady at A&E like that I've got this really bad headache, and I swear all she heard was, oh, she's got a headache. But I felt like this doctor believed me, and because of that, I don't know, I think I felt more relaxed. Anyway, she was so lovely, and she took my blood, which I was not prepared for. She took it from this hand, but she couldn't get any out, and so I've got a hole in my hand where they couldn't get any blood. I was like, look, because you guys took it all last week, I haven't got anything left to give. So she had to get someone else to come in and take my blood with a weird machine. I've never seen it before, but they had to take it from my other hand. So I had a cannula, the IV thing. I had it in my other hand, and I didn't want it in that hand. I didn't realise that's what they were doing. I thought they were just taking blood, but they put the cannula in that hand, and I didn't want it because that's the hand I wipe my ass with. And I was like, no, I can't wipe my... I said to Ben, you're gonna have to wipe my ass. He was like, oh, that's fine, I don't mind. But yeah, so I thought I was just having blood taken, but I ended up having a cannula put in my hand. Then I was moved to the other side of A&E, and they didn't have any beds, but they had recliners, and they put something magical in my drip, and it went into my bloodstream, and I slept like a baby. I slept so well, like all scrunched up in the fetal position on this damn recliner. But they only have recliners for the people who are coming into hospital, so poor Ben was like sat on the floor, scrumpled up. Poor boy. But they woke me up at 8 a.m. for blood pressure. They were supposed to wake me up at 7, I think the nurse said, but she said I looked so peaceful. She left me for an hour. I was like, oh my god, thank you so much, I just haven't slept. Yeah, so they woke me up at 8. I had my blood pressure, and shortly after that, like almost, actually really shortly, like almost immediately, they said that they had a bed for me on Brantham ward, and I was like, are you kidding me? That's the same ward I was on a week ago. I never wanted to see that ward again. Luckily this is the fast bit of the story. I was put on a bed while they assessed me, and I wasn't there for very long, like on the bed for an hour, maybe an hour and a half. It really was not that long. I saw a doctor, I saw a consultant, and they were just coming around and assessing me. They gave me the results of my blood test. It came back with high white blood cells. They don't know why that is. They said it's a sign that my body's fighting something, so I don't know what that is yet. Because I was okay to sit up, I don't know if it's because the drip thing they gave me, but I was alright to sit up. Like, my headache wasn't that bad. So they moved me to the chairs round the corner of where the beds are, because honestly A&E was so busy, they needed my bed. They moved me and Ben to the chairs. We purposely sat on the same chairs we sat on a week and a couple of days prior. Just, we were like, oh look, we're home. And then we pretty much just stayed there, just waited, played Pokemon Go, chatting to the old couple in front of us, like just had a chill. There's nothing we could do but wait. They upped my medication. They prescribed me codeine as well, which has been fun. Basically, I have been feeling so much better. Not quite back to my normal self, yet, but I'm definitely getting there. All in all, we were in A&E and the Brampton ward and that for 18 hours. I may be British, but I hate waiting. The doctor I spoke to thinks it might have been spinal fluid leaking from my lumbar puncture. And that's what was causing my headaches to be so bad. And do you know what the fix for that is? Do you know what the fix for that is? Another lumbar puncture. So I got to go back on Friday, this Friday, to the neurology department to have blood tests to see how I'm feeling, see if I'm feeling better. I said to Ben, I will go kicking and screaming if I have to have another lumbar puncture. I'm going to try my fucking hardest not to have one. Because I cannot do this again for another week. I physically cannot. I don't have it in me. So if you join my Patreon, I'll post everything on there on Friday, like how I get on and all the updates and everything. But that's where I'm at. I've just got to wait till Friday and see what happens. All the nurses and doctors and consultants were honestly amazing, all aside from the blood pressure bitch. And this other nurse, this little older lady nurse who moaned because I had my coat on the floor. I always put my coat on the floor. Like it's an old coat. Yeah, everyone was amazing and I'm so freaking appreciative of our NHS. And this is why we need to vote the Tories out, because they're trying to take it away from us. Rishi, I'm watching you. You and your billionaire friends have no idea what it's like. You and your Bupa healthcare. You got no idea, mate. I'm done. I'm gonna go finish watching Devil Wears Prada. So all I'm doing now is waiting for Friday's appointment, where hopefully I'll just have blood tests and they'll come back A-okay, and then I can just get on with my life. We'll see. Thank you guys so much for just following my journey, because I've just finished editing part 2, the second bit of the video, and it's like almost an hour long, and this is going to tip it over. So if you've watched this whole video of over an hour of me rambling, like, I'm so thankful, thank you. But I will see you very soon. I'm hopefully going to do some more filming tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be back to a regular schedule next week. But thank you everybody. Thank you most of all to my patrons, because you guys have been the biggest freaking help ever, and I could not have got through this without your words, and I love you. And I'm gonna go. And I realised that I didn't say stay weird when I was laying on the floor, because my brain was so confuzzled about how I felt. I was like, I didn't even say stay weird. So I'll say it now. Much love, boobs. Take care of yourself. And most of freaking all, go get your eyes tested and stay weird.